Hey, it's Rich's Mowers and Blowers. Psh. Hey, when you go to use that lawnmower, you want it to work. So you have to take some proper care over time. And if you don't, today we're going to be talking about that smoking lawnmower. You know what I'm talking about. When that smoke comes out of that lawnmower and you're like, something wrong? Well, stay tuned. Some of the reasons why your lawnmower is smoking, we are going to talk about that today. And we're going to show you how to fix it. So one of the most common things with a smoking lawnmower is there's too much oil in it. I see this all the time, and now they got these lawnmowers that you don't even have to change the oil. And you just add oil, which makes no sense to me. So, you wouldn't just add oil to your car and never change it, would you? So your lawnmower, treat it the same way. So even though these guys say never change your oil, go ahead and change it. All right. And then remember, don't overfill it, because that's the most common thing that I come across. Other things, the second most common thing is tipping over a lawnmower. So when you guys tip over your lawnmower to get to them blades, because you got sharp blades to cut that grass, right? And that's probably the second most common thing. People tip over their lawnmower in the wrong way. And then the next thing, probably what's going to happen, is a blown head gasket. So you got your head gasket in between there, gets a little crack in it, and then starts leaking that oil out. So those are some of the three most common things when you get smoke. Now, we have white smoke, blue smoke, and black smoke. Which one is yours? So we have your white smoke. Your white smoke is probably 99.9% of the time, it's because you overfilled your oil. That's where your white smoke's coming from. So blue smoke coming out of your lawnmower, that's kind of more rare, but it could still happen. Now, a couple things that could happen on that. You could still fill over your oil and it produces some blue smoke, but usually it's like spillage going on your crankcase or on your muffler. Somewhere you spilled some oil could give you some blue smoke, or actually using the wrong type of oil. So you put the wrong oil in there and it doesn't react. It has a different chemical reaction. So please follow your manufacturers and use the right oil. So this black smoke indicates that you're running rich. You're getting too much air and gas mixed at the wrong amounts. So what you're going to do is you probably have something clogged up. So check that air filter. That's one of the biggest things that people forget about. Change that thing out, blow it out. With that black smoke, check your choke. That could be stuck. Check your air filter. Probably, I'm going to say it's your air filter. And check your carburetor adjustment. Something could be out of whack there where you're getting not the right fuel air mixture. And it could just be burning oil. So if it's just burning oil where your oil is going lower and lower, so that's probably goes back to your head gasket, could be leaking, or your rings are stuck or just worn out. So that would take a little bit more major repair with the black smoke. Let's go back to overfilling your oil. Why does this happen? Because most of the time, people don't know how much oil goes into a lawnmower. They take the manual. Hey, I'm a guy. I don't need to read that manual. They throw it away, leave it in the box when they put the lawnmower together, whatever they're doing, and they never know how much. And they just kind of eyeball it up, put that oil in there. Sometimes they check the dipstick. That's another thing. The dipstick, do you screw it all the way on, check it? Or do you just take the dipstick and push it in and pull it back out and check it? So those kind of things, look at your owner's manual. Usually about 18 to 20 ounces of oil goes in a push mower. So, and sometimes it'll actually say on the dipstick to screw it in, or it'll say, put 20 ounces of oil in it. And just make sure you read the manufacturer's recommendations on the oil. and make sure you change it. Don't get, even if you bought one of those never need an oil change, make sure you still change it at least once a year. That's the first thing you're going to do when your lawnmower starts smoking, especially if it's that white smoke. You're going to check that oil. Make sure that it doesn't have too much in it. Now, if it does have too much in it, you just dump it some out. And always refer back to that manual, because it'll tell you the correct amount. Next, you could have oil in the gas or gas in the oil. Now, what's the difference? It's both gas and oil mixed, but it's not. So, if you have oil in your gas, now, this might sound a little funny, but believe me, it happens. Trust me. So you go to fill your oil, and you accidentally put it in your gas tank. Now you got some oil in your gas. That does happen, fellers. It does happen. Trust me. So if this happens, if you accidentally put some oil in there, don't try to just leave it in there, because you'll get some smokage. So what you want to do is take that gas tank off, rinse it out really good, put it back on, and make sure you put that fresh gas in there only. Keep that oil on the side over there, on the other side. The thing you have is actually gas in your oil. So you pull out your dipstick and you give it a little sniff. And if it smells of gas, that means gas is going into your oil. Now, what causes this? So a lot of times, what causes the gas to go into the oil is tipping your lawnmower. So you tip it up on the side to change that blade, because we like sharp blades, guys. And you tip it the wrong way, and that gas leaks into the oil. So now you're going to have gas in your oil. You're going to get that burnage. So if you suspect gas in your oil, you're going to have to change your oil. Dump it all out and put some fresh in there. And then keep an eye on it, because there could be a few other causes. But most of the time, it's tipping the lawnmower on the side the wrong way. Gas is going to go in where it's not supposed to. And if you had that gas in your oil, you probably should clean your carburetor out just to make sure. You know, you want that thing spot on. So one of the other things that happens is your gasket. So again, you got your gasket in there, and it's a carbon fiber metal, and it's supposed to seal that off. Well, over time, it gets destroyed, and it'll start leaking. So when this happens, then you will have to do a major repair and pull that head off and replace that gasket. One of the things that you're going to hear when your gasket's going, you're going to hear some popping noises. Pop, 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 right? And, you know, that's AKA, that's going to be a backfire. So when you hear some popping noises like that, AKA backfire, that's probably your head gasket. Once that happens, that oil is going to leak out through that head gasket, and it's going to start burning, and then you're going to get that smoke. So, fellers, once you get that ciphered, you got white smoke, blue smoke, black smoke, you got too much oil, the right oil, you've got your head gasket or not a head gasket, you got gas in your oil or oil in your gas. You can go through step by step and figure that out. Now, the best way to tip over your lawnmower is to tip it front wheels back. So that way your oil and gas will pretty much stay where it's at. So front to back, not side to side. I know you need to get that blade off. Hey, I hope this video helped you learn something about that smoky lawnmower. And if it did, and if you're not a subscriber yet, just hit that subscribe button right up there. Hit that bell icon, you'll get notified every time I put out a new video. And following this video, if you hit that button, you'll actually see a live smoky video that I did. So I got this lawnmower, and if you click that button, you'll see exactly how I fixed it. So go ahead. We'll see you next time This is Rich's Mowers and Blowers.